It is every young adult's dream to graduate debt-free from college, but it can seem so unreachable for the majority of students in high school, starting to look at the real cost of tuition, the real cost of housing, food, and other basic living expenses. I am here to tell you today that it is possible, and it is something that is realistic. It is something that you can do if you're willing to take the steps it will take to get there. I will be completely honest, this road is not easy. College itself is not easy, and graduating debt-free can even seem like more of a daunting task. In today's video, however, I'm going to explain the steps I took and the path that I took in order to graduate college debt-free. I know that my own personal situation will not apply to everyone, and that is completely fine. But I think that any steps you can take to lower the amount of debt you have, if you're not able to completely eliminate it, are all steps that will improve your quality of life in the future, so you're not just haunted by debt for 30 plus years. You don't want to be the senior citizen living in a nursing home that still has college debt. So what is going on, everyone? This is Riley with the Riley Reformed channel, and today I have a personal story for you, a story that can help guide some young adults on their path to a higher education and ultimately better their lives, because that is the point of college after all, right? To better your life, right? Not party. I know some people might view that differently, but you want to better your life going to college. I graduated in the year 2021, fall 2021 to be exact. Originally, I was going to graduate in the spring of 22, but I took a few extra classes during winter and summer to kind of get ahead, and in the end, graduate earlier so I can be done with school, because if I'm being honest, school was not my favorite thing. Anybody that knows me in real life knows that school is not my favorite thing. I graduated with a bachelor's of science in data analytics with a minor of business administration from the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. I don't have the apparel on right now, but maybe you've seen some of it in my past videos. And the reason that I say this is that I did graduate with a 4-year bachelor's degree, not just an associate's degree, which would have been even easier to graduate debt-free from. I did decide to go with the 4-year degree for my own personal life goals, as I did always want a 4-year degree, which the 4-year degree was a first in my family. The number one reason that I was able to graduate college debt-free is that I went to a local, in-state, and reasonably priced university where I was able to commute from my parents' house throughout my 3.5 years in college. Now, I know that some of you may have tuned out already, but please hear me out. Commuting, if you live a reasonable distance from the university, cuts the university price in half automatically. Look at this example from my university. If you commuted, it would have saved you $7,500 a year, which is roughly $30,000 over the course of 4 years. This amount would be significantly higher if you factored in interest over the course of your loan, because most likely you would have debt, which means you have to take out a loan. This is something that cannot be underestimated. If I did not commute, I would not have been graduating college debt-free. Many college students that I knew lived within blocks, or their parents lived within blocks of the university, and they still lived in the dorms. My first reaction, not of course what I would say to their face, was just, why? Why on earth would you sacrifice debt for a 1-bedroom jail cell that doesn't even have a bathroom for just freedom? I just never believe that was the smartest option when they could simply walk to their classes from their parents' house. Obviously, not everybody is in that situation where they could walk to class from their parents' house, but I guarantee if you live within the 50-mile radius that a lot of universities require you to be for commuting, you will be so much more financially stable throughout your life, and whatever gas or car maintenance expenses that you may use or that may come up will not compare to the countless fees, meal plans, dorm costs, or just costs of regular supplies that you will encounter in college. Now, speaking from personal experience on this topic, I knew quite a few people that grew up in my hometown and then transferred to the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point, where they commuted for the remainder of their college life. Why did they do this? High school students do not realize at the time how much things cost until they actually get out into the real world. Once they get out into the real world, they think, wow, this is maybe quite a bit more costly than I was expecting. Those college students that I just mentioned then think of ways to save a bit of money, realize that they can get the same quality of education going to a local university, and then they transfer to that university because they can save tens of thousands of dollars. I just kept seeing it over and over again throughout my time in college. And if I could go back in time, one of the first things I would do is tell high school students that it's okay. It is okay to commute and save the very valuable money that you will need throughout your life. When you're in high school, think about what you have for a second. Something that you own. How much do you own? What do you have? Maybe a car, obviously some clothes. The answer is not too much. Every college student starts off as broke, at least the ones that I know. And a broke college student was the typical stereotype, right? Like everybody feels like they're broke in college, and I feel as if I was able to avoid this altogether because I changed one thing while I was going to college, and that was the idea to commute. It is a lot to ask for a young adult just starting out their life that already have very little to go into debt for oftentimes something that they're not even sure what they want to do. I feel like I could get into a rant about this whole college education system thing in the United States, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to tell you that it is okay to commute, trust me. And I think I've turned into a better adult because of this decision, something that I bet more college students wish they would have done in the long term. Now, I know I've been focused on kind of the money aspect of commuting. Obviously, I know that no option is perfect. You may be wondering how I felt involved on campus and what I did that way to feel involved, and oftentimes, to be honest, I did not feel very involved. My freshman year on campus, I did not have a job. I just went to campus for school, studied in the library during classes, and then went home at the end of the day. I didn't really get a chance to make very many friends this way, but luckily I did still have some of my high school friends, even though sometimes it was hard connecting with them because they went to different universities or were not home very often. But my second year on campus, however, or maybe even my second semester of my freshman year, I decided that I wanted to feel a bit more involved, and I thought the best way to balance that and also help pay for school, because school still was not free, was to get an on-campus job. Now, once I had my on-campus job, I was able to finally meet a lot of fellow students, participate in sort of events that my departments hosted, and connect with a lot of fellow students, some of which I still talk to this day, and I met very valuable connections through my on-campus job. I felt as if this was the perfect balance for me. Once I started my job, I was able to finally have a purpose on campus other than school, sleep, eat, and repeat. Now my life was like school, work, eat, sleep, repeat. Welcome to the life of a young adult. Now, commuting also had a side effect during the COVID-19 pandemic when everybody was sent home and had to take all their belongings out of the dorms and move back to their parents' house. I was already living at home, and honestly, I didn't really have to do much besides make sure my computer was fully charged every morning because everything was fully online. During that time, I still did have my on-campus job. Not everybody had that luxury. Some people, their jobs were cut during the COVID-19 pandemic, but because I still had my job, that allowed me to also get out of the house and still sometimes go to the university. But overall, I mean, I was super happy that I commuted because I was not tied down to a dorm, to a meal plan, or apartment lease that I know a lot of people had. So if you guys can get anything out of this video, my goal was just to make sure that you know it's okay, things will be fine. You can prioritize saving money versus experiences. It is okay to do that. I know this is not always the best way to look at life, and sometimes obviously things change over time, but during this time, especially if you're going to school for some sort of undecided major or something that's super common, check out your local universities. Make sure that they have options that you could commute. My university that I went to was a 50-mile radius where you had to live. Maybe other universities are different. I'm just speaking from personal experience in this video, as that is kind of all that I can do. So when I started this video, I definitely had the inclination to include all of the reasons that I was able to graduate debt-free in this video, but behold, I was not able to fit all my tips in one video because I kind of got stuck on the commute train. So guess what? Another video will be coming your way. I plan to make another video with some other tips that I use to graduate college debt-free, so please make sure that you are subscribed for that one. I hope this video was of some use to you. If I could say anything to a young adult looking to start their life, I would say that you should really consider commuting, as it can save you so much money in the long term. But let me know down below in the comments. I would like to know if anyone else watching this video maybe was able to graduate debt-free, as to be honest, I don't know that many people that were able to do that, so it would be interesting. But that is me. This is Riley with the Riley Reformed channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider hitting the like button, and I will see you in the next video where I will talk more about graduating college debt-free. I hope your day is as pleasant as you are.